Warm greetings from India and a very good morning, good noon to all the people across the globe. I, Supriya Kumar Velan, welcome you all on this global talk show by Business Power Academy, Netherlands. And today we have a very beautiful, gorgeous, talented, and intellectual guest, Crystal Starnes. Crystal, welcome to our show.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, Crystal is a podcast producer, executive director, she is a public speaker, and moreover, she is a great person whom she's enlightening the world with her talent, with her podcast that is to increase the awareness of the victims. And today we are going to witness that journey, and I am sure after watching this journey, you all will be enlightened. You all will be getting lot of inspiration in your life. Let's start the journey with Crystal Starnes.
Hi,
Crystal,
my name's
yeah,
Go ahead.
Crystal, I would like to ask you, since you have started a Voice for Victims LLC, and we all know what it is all about, but still, I would like to know your journey first.
Yeah, my name's Crystal Starnes, and I am from Western Pennsylvania. And I used to be a probation officer. I started off, I went to college for a criminal justice degree. And then I later went and got my master's degree in organizational leadership. But I had started off as an officer in the state of Ohio. I didn't know anyone. I had moved out there. And then I got homesick, so I decided to move back to Pennsylvania, and I got a job in Pittsburgh for a year. And then I eventually ended up in my home county as a probation officer. So the reason why I had started the podcast was because at my last probation officer position, I ended up getting victimized by my boss, who was a judge. And I remained silent for years. But then eventually I decided to stand up and speak up, and I filed a lawsuit, and I ended up eventually winning. I prevailed, and we settled, and I won the lawsuit. But afterwards, I felt like something was missing, and I'm like, you know what? I got to do something. Like when I went to college years ago, I wanted to be a state trooper. That's what I originally went for. But then as I learned more about probation and stuff, I knew that's what I want to do. And why I wanted to do all of this was I wanted to help people. That's what I wanted to do inside, is help people. So I started like thinking about things the past couple of years, and I'm thinking, I'm missing something in my life. I went to college for this to help people, and now I've left my position, I've retired, but something's still missing. So I ended up deciding to go, do this podcast because I wanted to help people. And that's why I came up with the name Voice for Victims, because I wanted to help people. So anyhow, that's why I created it. So if that answers the question.
Okay. Well, Crystal, as you have told about your story, most of the women in your case that they get scared, they fear to tell the world about the harassment they had faced. So what would you like to say to those women? What would you like to advise to those women who come across such situations in life?
What I would like to tell everyone out there is, don't suffer in silence. I suffered for years in silence, and a lot of excuse me, I'm going to stop the video real quick. I'm going to get my cat out of my room. Just give me a second. I apologize. Okay. So anyhow, I didn't think you'd want to hear the cat meowing in the
Yeah,
background, but anyhow, so what I would say is don't be afraid to stand up and take on higher powers, because obviously I took on a judge. He worked for the state, and it was very hard to take on someone so powerful as him. And then you don't just have that, you have to deal with all the other stuff that goes on, like coworkers, the community. I mean, my case was huge. It made national news. And I was put through a lot. So, but I did it. I mean, and I'm a mother of two daughters, and I'm married, and my husband is retired from there as well. And we still got through it. So anybody can get through it. If somebody is victimizing you, if somebody is, belittling you, putting you down, making you feel worthless, whatever the case may be, don't be afraid. There's help out there. There's so many people out there that can help you. Whether if it's at your job, you go to the EEOC, you can go to an attorney, you can go, whoever that you trust. You need to tell somebody. Go to a doctor as well. I mean, I told my doctor everything that was going on at the time. I mean, because this eventually, it was affecting my health horribly, and now I suffer from PTSD from it. But if I would have spoke up years ago, I might not have the PTSD. I might be, fine now, but I mean, I don't know for sure, but like, I would probably be a lot better. I wouldn't have as many health problems as I have now had I spoken up. So, it's not worth being quiet about it, because it takes years off your life, and, it's just not worth being victimized. There's too many other opportunities out there. If I wouldn't have been afraid, I probably would have left my job. But I didn't want to leave for two reasons. I mean, one, it was fear. And then the other reason was I love my job. I wanted to be a probation officer. That's what I went to college for. I put myself through college, and, I felt like I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to let this, control me. But eventually it was affecting me so bad. I eventually had to go. But anyway, that's the message that I would deliver to everyone is, no one is worth your peace, is the best
that's
thing I can say.
that's really great, and I must salute you, Crystal, your courage, because in this case, what happens generally that a woman lose control of her mental peace, and she gets fear to tell to the world what world will say, what society will say, and inside she is getting churned and churned, and so much she's taxing herself. But later on, when you said you realized you worked for it, you nothing is important than your mental peace. I reciprocate the same, and I must say, Crystal, it's you're really set an example to the society. Still, the women are facing these kind of things in their workplace or wherever they are working. So you have shown them real path, real courage, and the most important thing is be fearless. We move on to your destination, and face these people, expose these people. Because if you will keep quiet, they will take the advantage of your innocence, of your fear. And that's what we are not going to take the charge from that. So thank you so much, Crystal, for this answer. It's really, really a great courage for a woman to take this stand up.
Thank you.
Crystal, Crystal, when you were facing all these things alone, I would like to know what challenges you really faced, and what kind of people helped you during that time.
The challenges were, like, I was in an environment where it's kind of like a man's world in there. I mean, being a female officer, you're the mentality, it's like a dictatorship is what the best way to explain it, of what kind of environment I was in. And it was a lot of nepotism that went on in that building. And there was just everybody was like in their little cliques. And I had some coworkers that were jealous of me, and they were always trying to cause trouble for me. And people knew that I talked with the judge, and would use it against me. So I had to deal with that a lot going, when I was there. And then after I filed the lawsuit, I just had people, I had supporters, but I also had people that would give me dirty looks. Every single day I'd have to get back into that office and I'd have people giving me dirty looks. I'd have people not talking to me. I even had people saying, why are you doing this? I had like threats against me at times. So, it was very, very difficult for me going through it. But I think what really got me through it was my husband. I mean, because my husband was there for almost 30 years. And my husband would talk to me when I would come home each day and just say, you just got to get through it. You got to, not worry about these people. You're doing the right thing. He really encouraged me throughout the years, and he stood by me the whole time going through it because he knew it was wrong. I mean, he also worked for this man for years. And he knew a lot of stuff. Like I later on, I found out things that I didn't even know. Like I didn't think people knew, but my husband said, oh, lots of people knew in the office. And that's what's very upsetting to me, because nobody helped me. Nobody, like, instead of they could have helped me. They could have gotten, tried to like say something or tell somebody. And there was even higher power supposedly that knew, is what I was told since I filed. So that being said, especially the higher people, should have reported it, and everybody just remained silent. So I think that's one thing, that a message that I want to deliver to people is, if you know that somebody else is being victimized, stand up for that person, because that person may not know what to do, may be in fear. But if you sit back and you just ignore it and you don't do anything about it, then you're just as wrong as the person doing it, in my eyes. Because had somebody, turned him in, or, if they knew it was going on, maybe things would have changed. Maybe things would have been different. Maybe I'd be healthier today. I look at all of this and I think, those people are just as wrong in my eyes. That's how I believe that to this day. And I know who they are. And I forgive everyone. I mean, because I believe in forgiveness, but that being said, it was still wrong what they did, and I won't ever forget. But I'm just saying though, like, I just feel that if you know something is going on, you need to report it and not take a blind eye to it. Is the best advice I can give.
Thank you. And
You're
generally, Crystal, I will say, even educated people, that time when you need a lot of help, they will not and they will say, okay, fine, we'll see to it, or they will take a distance, they will make a distance, and they won't help you. So
Right.
it's really, really great. You are taking, you're inspiring people when they are seeing around themselves this thing is happening. They should stood up. They should stood for that woman who is trying to achieve the aim, who is trying to get out of those situations, which is to panic, and it's not an easy job. So, as a society member, as the member of this world, we can say, if you are really want to help your society, please stood up for that woman who is striving to be the normal life, to get the normal life once again. And I must say to all my viewers who are watching us today live, please support a woman who is striving to get the proper justice. And today, Crystal has given that lovely message, and it should spread to the whole world. So, Crystal, thank you so much for this lovely, inspiring answer. Moving in my journey ahead, I would like to know, when you have started this podcast, Voice for Victim, what it is all about, and what is that inspiration forced you to start this great podcast?
Well, Voice for Victims, I started it because I felt like I wanted to help people out in the community, but I just couldn't figure out how to do it. And then the idea came up, and we decided to come up with that name, and my husband and I filed for the business name and everything. And then, obviously I started the Voice for Victims podcast. And what I wanted it for was for victims, survivors, advocates, attorneys, attorneys, doctors, anyone out there that wants to spread awareness about victimization. Anyone that wants to get on and tell their story, wants to maybe educate about such legal terms, like on the civil end, or even on the criminal end, on the criminal justice field too. Like someone that's educated there could get on the show and talk about that. I'm just trying to spread awareness because I want people to know their rights, because obviously I didn't know my rights. Because one of the things that when I worked there, they made you believe that we were at-will employees, but they made you believe that, no matter how you were treated, you didn't have any rights. Basically, the judge could fire you at any time. Didn't matter what you did, you could just be fired. So we were always under this belief system, going through that, working there. And that's what I always believed. So I didn't really know I even had any rights. So that's another big reason is I want people to realize, yeah, you do have rights. I mean, there's a constitution in place. I mean, everybody has rights. Nobody deserves to be harassed or sexually assaulted or bullied or anything. I mean, there's rules and regulations, and people need to be aware of that. So that was one of the main reasons why I started it, because I want people to know, their rights, basically. So.
Very nice, Crystal. I totally agree with you. Whatever you have said, it's really, really true. How you get inspired, how you have started the journey, because awareness is must. If your awareness is not there, you cannot move forward in your mission. That's a lovely mission which you have to aware the people about their rights, about what they want in their life, and most important, they want to stand for themselves, because nobody is not going to push you. Nobody is not going to help you. You are the person who will motivate yourself. So that's very, very important. Well, Crystal, nowadays we are seeing girls who are going for self-defense, like karate, judo. They are learning. So what advice would you like to give? Shall we go for these all self-defense? And are they really help in those conditions of sexual harassment?
I totally believe in taking some self-defense classes. I actually took Taekwondo growing up, and I also took some classes after I became an adult too. But I would definitely recommend that, because nowadays, I mean, you can never be too safe. And, I would even suggest, getting mace, ordering it and keeping it in your car, if you don't believe in having a firearm, because you never know. I mean, anyone could victimize you. And, in regards to the sexual harassment, there's help out there. I mean, there's therapists that specialize in that. Go talk with somebody. Don't be afraid to talk with anybody. I actually had gotten a therapist going through this, and I still talk to her to this day. I talk to her once a month, and it helps me. It's a way to vent. It's a way to talk about anything going on that you feel comfortable, and it's in confidence, and you can talk to this person. So, don't be ashamed if you go and get a counselor or a therapist, because, everybody needs something like that if they're going through a situation. So, it can help you. And the other thing I would suggest doing too is journaling. Always journal, your thoughts. Going through my situation, I documented my whole career. Like anytime something would happen to me at work, I kept a log of everything. I just always documented. And then when I would write it out, it made me feel better and helped me relieve a little bit of the stress that I was going through. So I would definitely always document things, just so you have later. You may think, oh, I won't need this. Well, no, you will need it. So keep it, just because if anything ever happens, then you can say, oh, I dated this, I journaled this, or I typed it, however you want to journal. Definitely document, always document.
Yeah.
And even pictures, pictures mean 1,000 words. So if you need to photograph something, just so that you have an electronic, copy of it or whatever, save your emails, save your text, all that, keep it because you may need it one day. So, if you see something on Facebook, another thing that I did going through this, because there was a lot of people, some of the people bad mouthing and just having judgment on the situation. And I screenshotted every Facebook post I saw going through my lawsuit, and I still have them to this day. So, because what happens is if you don't screenshot it, then they'll hurry up and delete it or take it down. But then you have it, like, that's just something I just stayed up on top of it, going through it the whole time. I screenshotted everything, so, if you want proof, just do your own investigations, do your documentations, and then you'll feel a little bit better. Plus you feel better when you're writing it out. You feel so much better. Like, I just know when I would document it, it made me feel a little bit better. It was like a relief. So that's what I would recommend.
That's really great, Crystal, which you have recommended, and I will advise everyone to take the screenshot, whatever Crystal has advised, because you never know when you will be needing these things in your future. If you will have these things, it will definitely going to help you to come out of the situation, and it will be a great proofs which you'll be needing for your future to defend yourself, to prove that you are right. And I must say that whatever you have said, it is really, really 200% true. Today we won't realize the value, but later on, when we are going through same phase, same incident, that really matters. And those incidents, it's very easy to say, Crystal, to forget, to heal, but it's really a lifetime. It will keep you getting shocks. But I do believe, yes, sometimes we need to move on in life. We need to speak up for ourselves, and we need to move forward the way Crystal has forwarded her life. And today we are seeing Crystal, a new Crystal with a lot of confidence, spreading awareness among the girls, women, and trying to push up for their own liberation from all the black clouds like problems which they are struggling. So, hats off to you, Crystal, for your great, lovely journey.
Thank you.
Well, Crystal, you told me about your podcast and how you have got inspired. But if I talk about your public speaking, how you got inspired and what are you were doing in your public speaking courses?
I just want to, like, again, it gets back to wanting to spread awareness. I just want people to realize, that they do have rights. And I also have a show out there. It's Justice in America, Crystal Starnes story. If you want to Google it and watch it, because it talks about the entire situation that I went through. And my husband's actually on it, and a couple of my friends, and my attorney as well. But I just feel like, spreading the awareness, making it known, that even people in powerful positions do wrong. And one of the other messages I wanted to deliver was bullying. Anybody out there that's being bullied, I know it's very difficult when you're going through it, but try to think about those people obviously have some type of insecurity, or they want something you have, or they're envious of you, they're jealous of you, or whatever. Like, one of the things that I have tried to teach my daughters, because my daughters have both been through a little bit of bullying throughout their lives, and I have told them, you know what, those people that have done that to you or was mean to you or whatever, you need to rise above it. They're insecure, they're jealous of you, and don't worry about it. Just let it go. Like, I going through this situation, anytime a situation happens with my kids, if something's going on, I'm like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Life's short. They obviously have something going on with them. Just ignore it, because like my daughter, my youngest, she was in cheerleading, And she had a couple girls that was picking on her and being mean to her, and they bullied her this last season. And she's not in cheer now. She's taken a break given the situation that happened. But it was really affecting her. And I actually have her in therapy now, due to the trauma that she suffered. She was having nightmares and everything. And I think she's getting better now.
Really scary.
Oh,
Crystal,
yeah.
that's very scary.
Yeah, it affects you. It traumatizes you, especially a child. But she's getting better with it. And we just recently bought her a horse, and she's been around horses for a while now because we have another horse as well. But it's the horses seem to help with trauma. I know even with me, when I'm around the horses, I feel comfort.
Yeah,
I
saw
really
that.
enjoy brushing the horses. I enjoy being around them. I love talking with them. So the horses have helped me too. So I guess the whole message I'm trying to deliver is tell your children that if they're being bullied, to tell someone, obviously, and don't let it bother them inside. Try to really preach that to them, that, that person has something wrong with them for them to be that mean. It's not normal to be mean like that. And, when you deliver that message to your children that way, it helps them. It really does. It helps them get through it. So,
That's awesome.
that would be the message that I would deliver.
And Crystal, I must say this bullying, when you're bullying a person, we can do only one thing: avoid, ignore the person. Because we cannot waste our positive energy running after to that person. And we sometimes we find that we are also becoming the same one, the same negative person. I really loved your answer. It's really touched my heart. Ignore it. And as you said, your horse therapy, and I saw it on the pictures on Facebook. So it's really cool to watch, and really love that. And animals, I have seen, to 90%, they will give you lot of relaxation. They will help you in coming out of your traumas, in your depression, or whatever you are having. So it's really great. Fantastic job you're doing, Crystal. And each
Yeah.
and every answer, I'm getting lot of inspiration, and so my audience too. They are getting lot of ways, especially women, how to come out of the situations, how to face those situations when they are being traumatized or when they are being harassed. So thank you so much for this great session. And Crystal, before I move to my last question, I would like to know your hobbies, what you do in your activities time.
Well, mostly we're with the horses. I mean, that's what I mostly do is I'm there because we're there quite a bit. Um, but I love music. I love listening to music. And I like taking walks. I live on a farm, so I
Right.
live like on 135 acres. So I, enjoy walking around the property. I enjoy animals. I love looking at deer. I love looking at turkey. Like when I come home, my kids will laugh at me, but like if I see deer or turkey, I start talking to them. Like I just put the window down, I stop them, like, I'm like, hi, honey, how
Yeah.
are you? It's, I don't know. I enjoy it. I love it. And I mean, if you look on my Facebook, I take pictures of animals on the property. Sometimes you'll see me taking pictures of hawks or eagles or whatever. I mean,
Yes.
because
Yes.
I love animals. I absolutely love animals. And so, and then we go on vacation, a couple times a year, and I love the beach. It's my favorite.
Awesome.
I love the ocean because it's comforting. So, that's what we mainly do. But it's
Super.
mainly now my life is horses. So,
But it's really great because you're getting a lot of inspiration, relaxation, and what animals will give you that love which you will not get anywhere from in the world. This is my
right,
experience too. Yeah. Well,
right.
Crystal, this is really a lovely journey which you had given today, this evening. Lot of nuggets, lot of inspiration, motivation to the people, especially women. You have told to move forward in their life without being get bullied from themselves, without being get caring for the world. And that's the special message which you have given. But still, a final message, what you would like to give to our entire global audience?
My message would be stand up, speak up now. Don't be afraid. Don't suffer in silence. Life is too short. Your health is number one. Your well-being is number one. Don't let anybody control you to the point that you feel like you have nothing and you feel worthless. No, you're worth something and you're brave enough. Don't be insecure. Stand up and speak up. There's help out there. So that would be the message that I would want to give everyone. Stand up always and tell someone.
That's awesome, lovely message which Crystal has delivered today to the entire world who are watching us live. And I'll say only one thing, especially to females, please be vocal, raise voice for yourself, because until or unless if you will not speak up, nobody is not going to speak up for you. And the best example is Crystal. Today, she has been a very strong support pillar system of the society. She has faced all the adversities. And now, as her name says, Crystal, she is a diamond crystal now spreading a lot and lot of positive vibes in this whole world. So hats off to you, Crystal, once again. And thank you so much for coming on my show, spreading your positivity and sharing your valuable knowledge with us. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And
Thank you for
also,
having me.
sure. And also, I would like to give my special thanks to my audience who are watching us, who are motivating us. And I'm sure this show is going to be electrifying session, especially for my female sections who are watching us and who are getting lot and lot of courage from Crystal, and they are going to be vocal if they are facing any issues. Thank you so much. Have a nice day and good night from India.
Thank you. Bye.